Hello students, I am Professor Chetna Singh. I welcome you all to the course of Applied Mathematics. Let me brief you with the topics which you will be studying in the syllabus. They are unit number 1, which comprises of matrices and complex numbers. Then you have unit 2, which will be dealing with differential equations of first order, first degree and higher degree. Then in unit 3, we will be studying Laplace transforms and its inverse. Unit 4 is consisting of multiple integrals, which is an extension to your single integration, that is double integration, triple integration and its application related to areas and volume. And in unit 5, we will be dealing with some special functions known as beta gamma functions and differential integral sign. Now, introducing you with the topic of beta gamma functions. Now, what are gamma functions? Gamma functions are functions which helps you evaluate certain types of expressions of functions. Like most of the functions, elementary functions which we know are trigonometric functions, algebraic functions, logarithmic and exponential ones. But there are certain functions which we need to evaluate, and gamma functions help you evaluate those kind of functions. It is an extension to a factorial functions related to real numbers and complex numbers. So let me tell you in brief how it goes ahead. A gamma function is defined by an improper integral which says integral from 0 to infinity e raised to minus x raised to n minus 1 dx, which is equal to gamma of n. Now this half t basically is an denotation for denoting gamma function. So we all are aware of evaluating a simple integration, let's say 0 to infinity e raised to minus x or plus x dx. This is a very simple integration. Why? Because we know that this is an only function whose derivative and integration remains the same. So it's very easy for us, we know to evaluate this kind of functions. Now let us say if I give you a question like this, 0 to infinity e raised to minus x squared dx. Now this seems to be very difficult for you because this cannot be evaluated in the same manner as e raised to x or e raised to minus x. So how will we evaluate such kind of integration? Gamma functions will help you do it in a very easy way. As you just need to remember the definition which is being given to you, 0 to infinity e raised to minus x raised to n minus 1 is equal to gamma of n. So now if I ask you what would be 0 to infinity e raised to x raised to n dx, you can simply tell me it will be gamma of n plus 1. Since it was n minus 1 here in the power, the function was gamma n. N minus 1, so gamma n. Now it is n, so it should be n plus 1. Okay, so let us evaluate this kind of integration. So let I be equals to this. So what we will do? In order to make sense, we know to evaluate this kind of integration, let us make it of this form. So what we will do is substitute x square as some variable t. So if we put x square as t, let us take a derivative which is equal to 2x dx, or simply make it more simpler, we can, if x square is t, the value of x would be square root of t. Right? So now the derivative of this would be dx equals to 1 upon 2 root of t dt. Now since we are basically substituting this thing, we need to also take care of the limits, whether the limits change or how it works. So now if I consider the limits, if x is 0, if I put x as 0, the value of t is also 0, and if I put x as infinity, the value of t also remains as infinity. So from this we make out that the limits doesn't change. So hence we go with this, that 0 to integration 0 to infinity e raised to, now since we have substituted x square as t, so we will take it as t, and dx is replaced by 1 upon 2 root t dt. So 1 upon 2 root of t dt. Considering the half constant outside, and root of t can be written as 0 to infinity t raised to minus half e raised to minus t dt. Now this looks like your definition of gamma function, which says that e raised to minus x raised to n minus 1 is gamma of n. So here you can see that instead of x, we are dealing with variable t. So hence, if I compare this with this given definition, I get the value of n as we get the value of n as minus half. If we compare with this particular definition with this, we get n as minus half, and hence this is equal to half of n plus 1. If I use this formula, that x raised to n is gamma of n plus 1, so this would be minus of half plus 1, which is equal to half gamma half. Now what is the value of gamma half? We'll be looking at the further lectures, but this was just an example how we will solve this kind of functions. So with the help of gamma functions, it becomes quite simpler to evaluate this kind of integration. So if I have to rate this particular subject, the level of difficulty of the subject, it is 4 plus. The reason so, because you all have already got a break from calculus since you have studied in 12th. So you have got a break from calculus, and I know many of you has got nightmare with calculus. So in order to make things simpler for you, I would, and to learn more about the topics which you have, 80% of it is related to calculus. So in order to make it more simpler, I would recommend you to enroll for the course, since we at Vidyalanka believe in delivering excellence and making things simpler for you. So see you in the class, and take care and have fun.